Every few generations, the world hits reset. 1929, 1971, 2008. Different years, same rhythm. Creation, excess, collapse. What if those weren't coincidences, but stages of one repeating pattern? A 7-step cycle every empire walks before it falls? Spain, Britain, the Soviet Union, all followed it. And now, as 2026 approaches, America seems to be standing on the exact same step. If history truly repeats, the ending is already written. Every empire begins with work, real work. Ships leaving Spanish ports full of silver. Factories in England filling the world with steel. American hands building railroads, cities, and dreams. Prosperity rises from productivity. People create more than they consume. Discipline, innovation, and faith in effort drive everything forward. This is the pure stage, the one no one recognizes until it's gone. But every rise plants the seed of its fall, because once wealth is created, comfort follows, and comfort always invites illusion. Prosperity breeds confidence. Confidence turns into credit. Empires start to borrow from their own future. Spain spent gold it hadn't mined yet. Britain leveraged its colonies before collecting their taxes. And after 1971, America printed promises instead of savings. Debt replaces discipline. It feels the same at first, even better. The system grows, the numbers rise, and no one asks how it's happening. But credit is a mirror. It reflects wealth without creating it. And sooner or later, someone looks behind the reflection. The third stage always feels like triumph. Stocks, housing, crypto, AI, whatever the era, the pattern rhymes. People stop building value and start trading illusions. The richer they feel, the poorer they become. But it's too exciting to stop. In 1637, it was tulips. In 1929, it was stocks. In 2008, real estate. Today, digital speculation, tech dreams, and the belief that this time is different. Every boom hides its own bust. But when the music's loud enough, no one hears the ticking clock. And then it happens. Confidence collapses, not slowly, but like glass shattering. Banks freeze, markets evaporate. The same people who laughed at risk suddenly can't find buyers for their dreams. The Great Depression didn't begin with numbers. It began with trust vanishing. 2008 wasn't just mortgages failing, it was belief in the system cracking open. Money loses meaning because people lose faith. Collapse doesn't start in markets. It starts in minds. And every empire, when it reaches this point, reacts the same way: denial. Governments always believe they can outsmart history. Rome diluted its coins with cheap metal and called it reform. Britain restructured its debts and called it policy. America prints trillions, calls it stimulus, and believes it can manage the fallout. They call it stabilization. History calls it stage 5. The illusion that problems can be solved with more of the same poison. Markets rise again, briefly. Headlines celebrate soft landings. Citizens feel safe because the numbers look strong. But beneath the surface, debt keeps expanding, productivity stagnates, and the empire quietly slips deeper into decline. Stage 5 isn't collapse, it's camouflage. The calm before the fracture. And in 2026, that illusion feels stronger and thinner than ever. Every empire that survives its crises still dies the same way. From within, wealth concentrates at the top, trust disappears below. Citizens turn on one another, left versus right, rich versus poor, believer versus skeptic. Spain lost unity. Britain lost colonies. The USSR lost itself. In modern America, the battle isn't outside its borders, it's inside, in algorithms, politics, and polarization. The currency is questioned, the leadership mocked, the media distrusted. When people stop believing in the same story, the empire stops existing. Collapse doesn't always mean invasion or explosion. Sometimes it's quiet, a slow unraveling of faith. And when that happens, power doesn't disappear, it moves. Collapse is not destruction, it's transfer. Gold, capital, and innovation flow from the tired to the hungry. Spain's silver funded Britain's rise. Britain's wealth seeded America's dominance. And now, silent flows of gold and technology drift eastward, toward economies still climbing their early stages. No announcement, no ceremony, just gravity. History doesn't ask permission when it shifts. Empires die quietly, while the next one rehearses in the shadows. The transfer has already begun. The only question is whether the world notices before it's complete. What makes 2026 different isn't the pattern, it's the speed. Rome fell over centuries, Britain over decades, but modern finance moves at the speed of data. AI trades billions in milliseconds. Debt grows by the minute, and fear spreads in seconds. Technology made us faster, but it also made collapse faster. A cycle that once took 50 years now compresses into 10. The same 7 stages, just accelerated. If that's true, then the next global downturn isn't decades away. It's already unfolding, piece by piece, headline by headline. History doesn't warn us, it whispers. And right now, it's whispering the same words it told Spain, Britain, and the USSR before they fell. Nothing grows forever. The pattern isn't prediction, it's recognition. We've seen this movie before, and the ending never changes. 2026 may not be the crash itself. It may be the year the illusion breaks, because every empire falls the same way, slowly at first, then all at once.